when people say Torah, they don't know what it is. It's not ritual, it's not dogma. You know what Torah is? Instructions for living.
What is Torah?
Torah is spiritual, historical, mystical.
The word Torah means teachings or instructions. And so the Torah of the Jewish people is called Torat Chaim, instructions for living.
The most complicated piece of equipment on the planet Earth is a human being. And we say our manufacturer in heaven gave us a guidebook. Torah, literal definition. Torat Chaim, instructions for living.
The Torah is the blueprint of life. The Almighty is the architect, and just like an architect unrolls the plans for the building, the Almighty unrolls the Torah scroll and looks into it and sees the building blocks of life. Emotional, physical, spiritual, it's all in the Torah.
Torah is the DNA of a Jew's life. The DNA is the code which directs your life. That's what Torah is. It's the DNA of Jewish life.
The Torah is the recipe book for life. It's in there, but you got to read it, and you got to learn it, and you got to get the wisdom out.
There's more to life than just money. There's more to life than just power and wealth. There's happiness. So I was just talking to a friend of mine that graduated Harvard Law School, and he said to me, there's a professor in Harvard that's teaching a class, and he told me it was among one of the most popular classes in Harvard on happiness.
Self-help books have been published about it, and now Harvard has a class teaching students the basics of being happy. And lecturer Dr. Tal Ben-Shahar is in charge of the one at Harvard.
The course that I teach is called Positive Psychology. It became the largest class at the university, the largest class in the history of the psychology department.
What does that tell you when Ivy League students are so interested and want to know what it takes to be happy?
We all want to be happy. It's about asking a question, how can I lead a happier life? The answer is in the Torah, and the answer is universal.
This is a book that contains timeless wisdom. It's the only book that a 6-year-old can get something out of, and a 106-year-old can get something out of. It's the only book that we read through the entire year, then we start immediately again to read it again. Why? Why do we keep rereading it? The Torah wisdom doesn't change, but we do. We look at life through different eyes, at different stages of life. And we go deeper and deeper as we mature.
I was so surprised to find out how relevant this ancient book was.
The ideas of Judaism, ideas that were brought to the world a few thousand years ago, still last and still impact every civilization throughout history, every people throughout the world.
The way we learn Torah is very unique. It's very different.
The way to see, to enjoy, you have to go to a study hall, and you find people singing while they're learning, singing.
You know, if you walk into a public library here in America, everything is very shushed. Everyone's whispering.
It's so quiet. It's so sterile. Versus walking to a Bet Midrash, and it seems like a shuk, like a marketplace.
The ruckus that's going on, it's an unbelievable burst of energy.
I had never been to a yeshiva before in my life. But I have to tell you, when I got there, I was absolutely knocked out by it. It was the single most intellectually active, energetic, fascinating environment I had ever witnessed. I mean, I said it afterwards that it made Harvard Law School, which I happen to have attended, look like a kindergarten.
That's the way Jews have always learned Torah, with a chavrusa, it's called, with a study partner.
There isn't a teacher-student relationship so much in Judaism as it is that we're all learning.
The reason it's so powerful is because you don't just learn together, you hash it out together.
There's an understanding that it's not an argument with a personal interest, like I'm right and you're wrong. It's like we're both really trying to get to the truth.
Torah's fun, man. It's a good time.
It's enjoyable. You got to do it to feel it.
There's just no shortage of mediums and abilities to learn Torah today.
I think technology is one of the greatest gifts to enable us to learn today as much as possible wherever possible.
You have the internet, you have the iPods,
You have a vast array of Torah learning that's available to you at the snap of your fingers.
I learn in the cab on the way to meetings. I take my iPod and upload different classes and learn on the subway instead of just looking at the signs.
You've got so many books that have been translated to English.
Everything is just in regular modern-day language that I can pick it up and in 5 minutes sort of breeze through. A very deep insight that it's today's day. It's so easy.
Read it, study it, enjoy yourself.
It's really amazing for me to see that you don't have to be a certain way to learn Torah. You could be whoever you want to be.
Just be yourself.
Just because you decide to learn doesn't mean that you have to change your lifestyle. It just means you want to learn.
It's not all or nothing. Whatever you learn, whatever you want to put into your life, it's fine. It's good. It's not all or nothing.
There's no yardstick. There's only you compared to yourself.
Go learn Torah.